Today is April 17th, 2018. I'm about to attempt my longest desert canyon hike yet, section 6 of the Hayduke Trail between Capitol Reef National Park and Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. But before I do that, I want to plant a cache in the Middle Moody Canyon area. I know that I'm going to want to take a leisurely pace without feeling too rushed to do big miles every day. So I'm planning for as many as 10 days to do the 72 miles, about 30 of which are right along or in the Escalante River. Definitely love this section of the Burr Trail Road on the way to the turnoff for the Middle Moody and Main Moody trailheads. So I'm gonna see how the road quality is getting down to Middle Moody Canyon and take it from there. I'm almost to the Main Moody trailhead. Those are the first two cattle that I've seen on the drive, and the first rock that I've scraped over as well. I did make it to the Main Moody trailhead here, but I've had such a long drive today that I'm just gonna hold off and hike it down to Middle Moody tomorrow, before I stage the car in Escalante and start up at Lower Muley Twist Canyon. Today's April 18th, 2018, and I'm headed down Moody Creek to the confluence with Middle Moody, where I'm gonna bury this cache here. Got my 5-gallon Home Depot bucket. We'll see how we go. Came across some easily spooked cattle here on my way down Moody Canyon, but it looks like finally they're gonna let me pass here and let me move along down Moody Canyon. I'm here at the Moody confluence between Middle Moody and Main Moody. Just got done burying a resupply cache for myself that I'll be picking up here in a few days, and was turning over a rock put on top of my bucket, and sure enough, a scorpion. With that in mind, be careful which rocks you're turning over, and now that I've seen one with my very own eyes visually, I'll be checking my shoes on this particular hike. Look at the size of that sack. I'm assuming it's got the poison in there. Apparently he prefers it under the rock. Not much of a sunbather, at the moment at least. Whew. Okay, well, I'll be steering clear of those guys as much as I can. After planting my cache there next to the Scorpion, I managed to stage a car back in Escalante and catch a shuttle with escape goats. Thanks, Sean, for the ride out to Lower Muley Twist Canyon Trailhead. It's almost 5 o'clock and I'm finally getting my section hike of the Hayduke started here. I have done the Lower Muley Twist Canyon loop starting from the post a couple years back. You can find a link for that video in the upper corner there, but I've never started from Lower Muley Twist Canyon Trailhead, so I'm keen to see what it looks like here. Today is April 19th, 2018, and I spent my first night in Lower Muley Twist Canyon after hiking for 2.5 hours or so last night. Got down below the post cutoff on the west side of the reef here. Haven't seen any water sources yet, but expect to see some pools on my way south before the canyon cuts into the reef and out to Halls Creek. Beautiful desert varnish on the tall alcove that I camped under last night. And just as I remember it from my last visit here, tall canyon walls with deep alcoves abundant here. It's pretty neat to see what this landscape looks like going southbound. A couple years ago when I did this loop in the fall, I was going counterclockwise, so northbound on the west side of the ridge here. But I especially remember this feature here, which is the biggest alcove that I remember along the whole trip. You can see just how sort of grand it is. So, in any case, it has some neat acoustics too. Whoop, boop, boop, boop. Not sure if that comes through on this microphone, but really enjoying it. And glad I got an early start today. Hopefully I'll make some good progress towards Halls Creek. Today's April 20th, 2018, and I had the pleasure of meeting up with a couple of Hayduke thru hikers yesterday, Scoops and Atom, and hiked the second half of the day with them all the way down to the Muley tanks and later to the fountain tanks. After dropping my pack near Red Slide, ended up camping at Red Slide last night with plans of going up and over Red Slide to get into Middle Moody Canyon. But since it's been raining this morning, I'm just gonna wait out the rain and
hopefully get started later today. I do have enough food to hold up for a day and wait and hike out tomorrow. I've got plenty of water. There's lots of good water in both the muley tanks and the fountain tanks. And I gather that the alternate route up and over the Halls Creek Narrows, eventually connecting with Stevens Canyon, has become an increasingly popular alternate for Hayduke through hikers. What that does is it avoids the walk through the Escalante for some 30 miles. And I can definitely understand why some would be reluctant to take on the wettable shoe portion of the hike. And I'd be reluctant to do that too, except that I did get to test my ability a couple weeks ago and found that the wettable shoe aspect of it was really not as difficult as I thought. It was more the battle through the thickets that are on the side of the riverbank there that scratch up the leg and are just more challenging and slower travel than actually just walking through the river most of the time. Obviously, walking through the river presents other risks. If you fall down, your gear gets wet, and if there's flash floods or high water, then that, of course, presents a whole other set of challenges and perhaps nightmare-like scenarios. That's still the route that I plan to go. I'm committed to Middle Moody, of course, with the cache that I left there at the confluence. So I'll just see how it goes today with the rain and take it from there. After just meeting Jonas and Lucas from Germany, it's giving me a little more confidence to maybe go up and over the red slide today. Of course, they started in arches, so they're a little more seasoned than I am with this type of terrain. But anyway, just going to see how the rain goes today and take it from there. It'd be really nice to see the view from the top of the water pocket fold when it's nice and clear or with a cool cloudscape, but you can't always get what you want. What was a dry Halls Creek wash yesterday now has a shallow flow after just a few hours of steady rain here, making its way down to the Halls Creek Narrows. Hopefully the Hayduke through hikers that were taking that alternate route through part of the Narrows and eventually connecting with Stevens Canyon made it up and out of that last night, or else are taking what may amount to a 0 day here on April 20th. And as you can see, what was sandy terrain yesterday quickly turns into very sticky mud, which has a way of slowing down travel. And as for walking over the slick rock above the red slide, it is called slick rock for a reason, so one can be sure that it gets slippery with the rain. The good news is that it will be easier to source water once I get up and over to Middle Moody Canyon, and perhaps the Escalante River will be flowing a little higher than the 2 cubic feet per second that I had heard reported before I left on my trip here. So it's almost lunchtime and the rain's still fairly steady. We'll see how it goes. As tempting as it is to continue resting in my tent, comfortably reading the Emerald Mile on ebook, sure enough, the weather cleared up here in the late afternoon. It's time for me to head up and over Red Slide and down towards Middle Moody Canyon. I've read about a cave on the south side of the canyon wall there in Middle Moody Canyon, so maybe I'll be able to make it that far, or find something even better near the top of the pass.
the next Backpacker Diaries.
I'll be going up and over Circle Cliffs Pass and into Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. It'll probably be the most intense route finding portion of the journey.
Now with a fully loaded pack, I'm only about 2.5 miles from the Escalante River.